Well, I visit to some stations, that's railway stations in Abuja, yesterday indicated a total compliance over a demand for improvement of welfare package and payment of outstanding salaries. Similar situation was also observed in Lagos, where workers prevented passengers from accessing train services and cargo operations, and that is because railway workers are on strike. So this morning we'll be looking at what are the issues that has been plaguing the sector in Nigeria, particularly at a time when Nigerians are getting used to rail transportation as the safest means of transportation in the country, given the insecurity we're experiencing. So in the studio here is Innocent Luka Ajiji, the President General, Nigeria Union of Railway Workers. Thank you, sir, for joining us.
Thank you. Good morning, viewers.
All right, we also have the MD, Nigerian Railway Corporation, NRC, Engineer Fidet Okhiria, join us via our virtual platform. There he is. Thank you for joining us, Engineer Okhiria.
All right, let's begin the conversation with you, Mr. Ajiji. We were just before we came on, we were asking you why now? Because a lot of people are able to travel by road. A lot of Nigerians cannot afford to travel by air. And just when Nigerians were getting used to the availability of the rail, transport system, you strike. Why?
Thank you very much. You see, it will interest Nigerians to know that the most patient worker in the whole country is a railway worker. Because railway worker has been patient for so long. It's been a while since we went on strike. I think it's almost 20 years. And it's not as if we have been comfortable. And it's not as if we've not been agitating for salary review and standard condition of service and other things that affects us. But it's because each time we agitate that or we threaten to go on strike, there will be promises upon promises from the side of government, from the side of management, and we've been patient. So, last year, we went into serious negotiations with government and railway management. In fairness to the management of railway, a proposal for salary increase was included in the proposed budget of 2021, which was submitted, and all due process were followed. Unfortunately for us, when it got to National Assembly, the National Assembly struck it off for a reason we do not know up till today. So when that was done, then early this year we decided to start all over again. This is an agitation that we started 6 years back. And when it got to National Assembly, they struck it off. So we started all over again this year. And a lot of meetings has taken place, a lot of negotiations has taken place, both with government and even with the railway management, even with the board. But it has been promises upon promises, promises upon promises. So at the end of it all, we discovered that these people are not sincere. They are not willing to assist us.
When you say these people?
I mean the government, the railway management, and all those that we have been engaging in our discussions have not been sincere to us, despite our patience, despite our willingness to do our job, despite our performance on daily basis. It will interest you to know that railway worker doesn't know weekend. Railway worker doesn't know public holiday. We work all through 24 hours. And so, despite all this, nobody is having sympathy on a railway worker to feel that these workers deserve a better welfare. These workers deserve a better package. So, recently, the Minister of Transport came in our quest and threat to go on strike, came to Lagos to meet with us. It will interest you to know that our headquarters is in Lagos, and that's where we are based. So he came to Lagos and met with us, and we discussed. And after making us to submit documents again, like 6 months back, which we did, and with the promise that he was going to take another dimension in negotiating with government and all those concerns to see that we achieve our aim. Unfortunately for us, on Saturday last week, when he came, he told us that he's very sorry that he has not done anything yet, and the president of Nigeria just traveled because he wants to take the matter to the president, and we should be patient and we should not go on strike until the president comes back. He will take our matter for a discussion. So that made us to now feel so demoralized, and so discouraged because 6 months ago we submitted this document, hoping that by now we should be getting approval and at least implementation for the payment of the new enhanced salary structure should have commenced. But here are you telling us that you are waiting for the president to return before our matter will be taken to the president. So it makes us feel nobody cares about us, nobody is serious about our matter. So that's why we are forced to go into this, so that it will get to the president. Perhaps we could get help when it gets there.
All right, Engineer Okhiria, the table turns to you now. I'm sure you listened to the innocent Luka Ajiji over the agitations of railway workers, and he's pointing an accusing finger at the government and, of course, the management of the NRC for not giving listening ear to their plight. Your response?
Good morning, and good morning, Nigeria. It's good to note that the workers and the union have been taken along the process we are doing to ensure that their welfare improve upon.
And you said if they had waited for 6 months, you wonder why they couldn't wait for 3 weeks. Put differently, is 6 months not enough to address the issues that you had to wait for the 3 weeks, later part of the 6 months, to begin to think of how to meet the president, like the minister said, and all of that?
I don't want to discuss that on the face of the television, because if ordinarily they know the steps. That's what I'm saying. They know the steps. It's not the issue of Minister of Transportation to say, I'm going to the president to address these things without going through the normal process. It's out of his enthusiasm and trying to ensure that what the government is doing. Everybody is discussing railway now, we thank God. Before now, what was the issue? Now that the government has taken it up, it has to be one thing after the other. They have taken, and why are we prominent now? Because the system is coming up. So we should make sure that we don't destroy it with our hand and don't lose this sympathy. That's what I'm trying to tell you. So if the minister had come and meet with them, I think they have that instinct to at least listen to him and at least give him the benefit of doubt.
Mr. Okhiria, are you concerned about the plight of workers, railway workers at all? I ask this question because of what you have said. Please note that Innocent did mention that they didn't start this agitation just even 6 months ago, that they started trying to see how they can get the attention of government to improve their welfare 6 years ago, and how, they have held several meetings, and how, in fairness to NRC, it was increment in salaries was part of the 2021.
It's not just, please, it's not meeting. It's not the type of meeting we are holding today. All these meetings are processes meeting that must have to be the system have to undergo to get results.
My question, yes, I get you, but
sitting there missing. We talk about the people that are in charge of salary and wages. They came, they had their meeting, they will hold their meeting, review, come back to us, and they are part of that process. That's what I'm saying. It's not just meeting of say, I take my salary to 20 naira, take my salary to 50 naira.
Mr. Okhiria, how long does this process take?
A productivity. Their management have to meet, not railway management. It's not ministry. That's what I'm telling you. So if you know me, you can't ask that question. So, and the PG sitting with you there knows me well, and I know him well. So whether you take the workers' welfare seriously, it should not be the issue. It's a process that has to be followed, and we want to make them to understand this process. Where I take government is paying us salary, it's not from what we earn. With what we earn, we cannot pay a salary if you work for the whole year. We cannot pay 1 month.
All right.
So we are providing service, just like every other service provider. It's not that we are not revenue collector that you say you keep the money. What you collect, you pay your salary. We provide service. What we earn, we use it to support what to provide that service. And government even add money for us to be able to provide as the stage we are now, because we have to develop up to that extent that you cannot say I can earn and break even. That's what I'm saying, telling you.
All right, Mr. Okhiria, to answer your question directly, yes, you're right. I do not know you well, and so are those who are listening to you at home. And I think that question is justified. And again, my concern is, you have said it's a process. How long has this process been going on, and how much longer is it going to take before the welfare, there will be an improvement in the welfare of railway workers? Because again, we all know that the current situation of the economy, people need to get an improvement in welfare across board, which is why I put this question to you. How long is your process going to take?
I think you don't understand the system. As a newscaster, can your management say, bring you out and just increase your salary? Or as you see, a railway is part of government, and we're under government salary. So everything we do must pass through that government process, which is not dependent on me. It's not dependent on Minister of Transportation. But what we are doing is midwifing it, and it has to take a different stage. You heard him saying that the president said he wants to meet the minister on our case. Ordinarily, the minister doesn't need to see the president on our case, especially. It's not what you know. I, as MD Railway or Engineer Fidet Okhiria, cannot single-handedly decide what is the revenue or what is the income or the salary of every worker. I cannot decide my salary myself. So we have that process, and you know, government processes, and all these processes, they know the stage we are. They can't say we don't know the stage we are, and that's why we see we are not quarreling. If they think that doing this will make it work faster, so but we are saying don't let us harm ourselves.
All right, engineer, still staying with you. Mr. Gigi did say something about the proposed budget for 2021 when the agitation started, and how that was struck out without them knowing exactly why it was struck out. I know that you know, as an NRC MD, you may be privy to what may have happened, because you may have gone for budget defense for your sector and all of that. Are you privy to why that aspect was struck out in the proposed budget for 2021?
Yeah, it's our duty to defend the budget, and he told you that we submitted the budget, and it's a duty of another body to review and do. So those process for 2023 is ongoing. At the National Assembly, we went to defend the budget, and we are still in the process of defending it. And they are getting daily briefing on that. So they as a body, as a union, they can as well have a say on it. They can as well meet who they know and talk with them and know why the budget should be upward, so that they can. Because the budget has to be there for their salary to be increased. And we are talking with we have the Committee on Land Transport, and we are looking at it. And they have access to them too.
All right.
So presently we are still working on it, and we hope the best will come out of it.
All right, back to you here, Mr. Gigi. You heard his response. He says you know him too well,
yes.
And by that it means that you know that he has the welfare of railway workers at heart. Yeah,
that's correct. He is correct, because We have had reasons to meet severally with the Salaries and Wages Commission, with him, and he has made a lot of reasonable contributions that got the Salaries and Wages convinced that we actually deserve an enhanced salary structure and a good welfare package for our members. And when the Salaries and Wages Commission came, the last time they came, I think it's around April this year, to Lagos. We held the final meetings with them, and they assured us that they are convinced that we deserve that. So we are going to hear from them very, very soon. Till date, nothing is happening from there. No information from Salaries and Wages Commission. No information from elsewhere. So where else do we go? If all those concerned comes around and show sympathy and promise that we are going to assist, we will do it in no distant time, this and that, and at the end of it, everywhere is quiet. We wrote a lot of letters, series of letters, reminding them, even demanding for meetings from all concerned, but it's falling on deaf ears. So for God's sake, what else do we do? This is the only option the union has. This is the only weapon we have as a last resort to go on strike so that it will draw the attention of all concerned. It's not our wish to go on strike. We love our jobs, and we've been doing our jobs diligently. And so, in as much as we are committed to the job, government should equally be committed. It will interest you to know that federal government recently increased electricity tariff. And if you are to put electricity tariff into proper use in your home, at the end of the month, you should be paying not less than 30,000 for your electricity bill in a month, depending on the size of your house. But I'm talking in a situation where you have even a room and parlor, and where you have a prepaid meter that you are paying. You should be paying over 30,000. So that clearly means that a railway staff cannot afford electricity in his house. Let me tell you how a railway staff survives.
Sorry, Mr. Gigi, let's spread this out on the issue of salary.
Yes.
Your major concern is your salary.
Exactly.
Tell us, what is the current salary scale for workers, railway workers?
I was about getting there when you caught me. So we happen to fall under the COMS salary structure of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. So meaning we are the people that are paid 30,000 naira minimum wage. So a railway worker, after being paid 30,000 naira as his salary, those within level 4 and 6, that is their salary.
Is that the lowest level?
That is the lowest level. So when you are paid 30,000 naira, from that 30,000 naira, contributory pension scheme deductions will be made, tax will be made, federal housing contribution will be deducted, union dues will be deducted. At the end of it all, railway staff takes home 26,000 naira. So can 26,000 naira pay electricity bill for a family in a month? Can 26,000 naira pay the man's transport fare from the house to the office? Can it pay children's school fees? Can it buy clothes? Can they even feed from 26,000 naira? Let me tell you, railway staff are surviving on sharp loan. If you check our pay slips, you will see it. We are not exaggerating to buy sympathy from anybody. The MD railway is here. He can debunk what I am saying if I am not saying the right thing. So we are not exaggerating because we are seeking for sympathy.
Loan from the
God bless you. All these microfinance bank that from your phone you can just access loan, provided you are on the payroll of government. You can access loan from your phone. Loan of 20,000, 10,000, depending on the amount you are qualified for. So that is what we are surviving on. So you will see at the end of the month, railway staff will be collecting 1,000 naira because they make their deductions at once in a month. So before, for instance now, all the loans we took in October, by the time November salaries will be paid, you will see my salary could be minus 1,000 or maybe just 2,000 naira. Now, when they deduct this money, you will be qualified for another loan that will take care of you for the next month. That's how.
So you practically live on loan.
We are yes, constantly.
Now, what category of workers are we talking about here? You know, the locomotive driver.
The locomotive driver falls among that 26,000 naira we are talking about. The train crews falls under that 26,000 naira we are talking about. The maintenance staff, the engineers, I mean, those who maintain the track, they falls among. These are critical workers that even deserve even hazard allowances, even without struggling for it, because these are workers that work under hazardous environment. So, but nothing like that is being paid.
The engineer Okhiria did mention that
Yes.
To increase your salary, it's
Yes.
going to take a process. It's
Yes.
a process, and that process is on.
Yes.
The question I put to him is, how long is this process going to take?
Yes.
And he has said that you understand how the process works. I
Yes.
mean, you cannot be isolated,
Yes.
you know, as railway workers, and your own salaries increased alone. That
Yes.
it has to be something that will be done holistically.
Yes.
Have you put this into? Did you put this into consideration when you decided to go on strike?
Certainly. I told you earlier on that in fairness to the railway management and the Minister of Transport, last year we were included in the budget proposal. It was the National Assembly that struck it off. So that process he is talking about is beyond him. We are not on strike because of Engineer Okhiria. We are not on strike because of the Ministry of Transport. But we are on strike because we are hungry. We are on strike because we keep demanding for better welfare, and it's falling on deaf ears. So that's why we are on strike. This process can be done within a year. And here we are, getting close to the end of the year again. Nothing is happening. And our matter has not even been taken to anywhere for the process to even commence. So what are we talking about? We lost it in the budget of 2021. We started earlier, making a lot of contacts, thinking that before the end of the year, we could achieve something. But here we are, at the end of the year, nothing is happening. So meaning we have lost next year. Because if we are not included in the budget of next year, that's all. We'll just be targeting budget of 2023. So you can imagine the trauma they are putting us into. You can imagine how neglected we are. Our train, we run 10 trains from here, Abuja here, Idu to Rigasa on daily basis. And our train, each of our train carries not less than 800 passengers. So approximately in a day, we carry over 8,000 passengers just from Idu to Rigasa. Then now we are talking of Lagos to Ibadan, which we carry a good number of passengers also. We are also talking about Warri Itakpe, which we carry a very good large number of passengers also. So approximately in a day, all our trains combined together carries about 15,000 passengers in a day. Now imagine the lives of these passengers that somebody that is collecting 26,000 naira is entrusted on. I mean, when you hand over these passengers to that man, and knowing fully that I left home, there's no food for lunch, no way, provisions for lunch for my family. And here am I going to Kaduna from Idu, and I may not be back until in the night, because they run all through the day, and I may not be back until in the night. Then at the end of the day, at the end of the month, I will have 26,000 naira. How do I start? That 26,000 naira cannot even fit me alone in the process of the job.
All right, Mr. Ajiji, and many would ask, why did you have to wait till almost the end of the year if your agitation has not been listened to over time, and you had to wait until just a few months to the festive season? When you consider the fact that many Nigerians are taking to rail transportation now because of the security situation in the country, many will say, are you targeting Nigerians or are you targeting the government?
Thank you very much. In sincerity, we don't want to go on strike, and we never planned to go on strike. And we actually sympathize with our passengers that are passing through this trauma. Yesterday I was in Idu station. They keep coming, those of them that are not current, those of them that don't listen to news, because we've been on air 2 weeks back telling Nigerians that this is our problem, and should government fail to pay attention, on the 18th of November, we shall embark on strike. So we were expecting that the entire Nigerians should have been aware that we are going on strike yesterday. But they keep coming, and we keep pleading with them. We are sorry over the situation we found ourselves. So, but when they saw our placards, they were shocked. They said, do you mean people working in this beautiful station, beautiful trains, are earning just 26,000 naira? It was unbelievable to the passengers. It was unbelievable even to some press men that came to interview us yesterday.
All right.
So our targets are not our passengers.
So the way
We have
forward
to
now,
go. The
you
way
know,
forward. You're parting short. What are you
your
saying?
expectations?
Yes,
within
the
these 3 days?
way forward simply lies on government, it lies on railway management, it lies on all those concerned that are involved in making us get enhanced salary structure. Though negotiations have started, we'll be meeting with our board members any moment from 9-10 today here in Abuja, and around 2 to 3 from the Ministry of Transport. We'll be meeting in Lagos today, all in the aim to find a way forward. So by the time we meet with them, we are going to make available the way forward to entire Nigerians.
All right. Engineer, if you're still there, please kindly give us your, parting words before we let you out on the show today regarding this strike and what the NRC will be doing going forward to address these challenges.
I think they have made their points. As I said, we are meeting and we hope to have a meaningful dialogue today, and maybe with our cooperation and everybody's cooperation, we're able to go back to work and shorten the warning strike. We have the warning. We have heard it. We have heard it loud and clear. So I will appeal that they should make up they should open their mind for the discussion that will be taking place today. Thank you.
All right, we want to thank you very much for your time. We truly appreciate you creating time to join this conversation. The Managing Director of the Nigerian Railway Corporation, Fidet Okhiria, has joined us via Zoom. Thank you, Engineer Okhiria, for your time.
Thank you.
We want to thank you as well, the President General of the Nigerian Union of Railway Workers, Innocent Luka Ajiji. We wish you all the very best.
Thank you very much.
And hopefully after this 3-day warning, that will be the end and your problems will be resolved.
Amen.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you.
All right, we'll take a moment and we'll begin our next conversation. We'll be looking at sexual violence against boys. Now, what we hear almost on a daily basis is sexual violence against women, against girls. Now, the boys are raising concerns about how they are also being sexually harassed. And to do this discussion with us is Paul Babatunde Daudu, the Secretary, Rule of Law and Development Foundation. He will be joined by Chinelo Ogbozo Amarado when we return from the short break.
How can you not transmit the lecture through electronic means when it